welcome back to another video. So most of you already saw my video where I did my first impressions of the pan pastels. I'm so excited to have those. I've wanted them for the longest time. And I'm ready to do a background tutorial for y'all with stencils. This is going to be so much fun. Now, this is the first time that I'm using them, and I wanted to be able to do this video because I want to show y'all that when you get new mediums or decide to try something out, don't be scared to try new things. I may make a mistake. I may not make a mistake. Who knows? We're going to find out. I have not used them before. Of course, I've used other pastels, but I've never used these before, and I don't think I've ever used them with a stencil. So we are going to try the pan pastels with a stencil today and try something new. I have this gorgeous book here. This is Wild Soul by Grazia Salvo. It has very quickly become one of my favorite books. There are gorgeous images inside this book. I usually take my pages out of here, scan them into my computer, and then I print them out on my paper of choice. Now, I picked up these really cheap stencils from Walmart, and they came in this pack where you get 12 designs. So here are some of the designs that you could probably see a lot clearer than me just showing you the clear or see-through sheets of stencils, but these are some of the designs that you get. And then here is the other page that shows the bigger designs that you get. And I thought this would be really cool to match and pair up with Grazia Salvo's Wild Soul book because we get these animal prints in here. And so I thought that was really, really neat. And I have an idea for the background on this page, and I'm going to share that with you. So I printed out this page because I thought it would be absolutely perfect for the tutorial that I want to do and the background that I chose and some of the colors that I actually have in the pan pastel set that I have, because I have the landscape set, and of course the landscape set has colors in it that could be used for animals as well. So I think it's going to come together really nicely. If you've not yet seen this coloring book, I'll just show you a couple of the pages in here because this is one of the most beautiful books. Look at these pages. The girls are absolutely beautiful. The animals are just really, really beautiful as well. So that one's the deer. This one we have butterflies. I love this page. I definitely want to color this one. Here we have a horse, but I'll just flip through really quickly just so you can see. Oh my gosh, I want to color this one too. Look at that gorgeous elephant. And this book is a little bit bigger than your standard Amazon books, but if you choose the right picture in here and scan it into your computer, it will size it so that you could print it on your own paper. And so here, I am actually not using the Spring Hill paper. I wanted to be able to test my Holbeins on the Neenah paper. So I printed this on the Neenah paper because I plan on coloring the actual image with my Holbeins, and I'm trying to test my Holbeins out on different paper as well as in different coloring books, and I've not gotten to the coloring books yet, but I feel like I need to get used to this paper because the Spring Hill paper lately has been very difficult to get. So that is the paper I'm using today, and it does have less tooth than the Spring Hill paper that I usually use. So the pan pastels should go down a little bit better and a little bit smoother on this paper. Now we are just going to do the background in this video, and of course when you do a background and you use pastels, you do need to spray it with fixative. So I'm probably gonna have to spray it with the fixative so I can come back and color the page, but I'm really excited to actually color this, and I've never done a background first, so this is going to be new to me as well. So I grabbed something that was black so I could lay this on here and y'all can actually see what the designs look like, but these are the animal patterns, and I think I want to go with this one. But I think that you're able to see this a lot better with this black background here, but I really like this one, and so I think I want to use that for the background. And it kind of goes with the leopard, I think. So I did choose my colors that I want to use for this stencil background. I'm not going to take this out of here again to name the color because if you watched my first impressions video on my pan pastels that I just received as Happy Mail from a wonderful subscriber, you will know that a lot of them came damaged like this that were in my set. And these are the three colors I'm going to use, and luckily these two were fine, but the other ones in here, there's another one in here that's very much damaged, but I definitely need the brown. So I am just going to have to deal with it being like this. So I'm not going to call out the colors. If you want to see what the actual colors are, I will put my first impressions video of the pan pastels up in the upper right hand corner. And in that video, I do name all of the colors and I swatch them out for you. And I did receive the landscape set. If you're curious about the colors that come in that set, these are the colors that I received. And I'm hoping, I really wanted to be able to use this color right here. I really like this one too, but I think this color is actually this one. Let me do a little bit of organizing here and make sure that I have the right colors, and I will be right back. Okay, y'all, I've rethought all of this. I've tested it out, and I definitely have my colors. I'm using this color here, and I'm going to mix it with this one here. And I think that's gonna be gorgeous. So I have them all sitting right here off to the side. And here is the blend of what they're gonna look like. So I did test them out and I really like the way that they look. So I think it's gonna be gorgeous. When you're using pastels, you always wanna start at the top and come down. If I were to start at the bottom and go up, I would end up sticking my hand in what I was doing down here while I was working. So we're going to start at the top part of the page and we're going to work our way down. So I'm just going to lay the pattern that I want right here onto the page, and I'm going to make it go a little bit off the page just because I think that's going to give it a little bit more of a natural look. Just because I want to make sure that I don't have to keep wiping the colors off to the side, I'm going to do the first color and go all the way around and do the top edge of the stencil all the way through. Then I'm going to come back with my other colors. So I'm going to start here with this color here, which is my darkest color. And I'm going to come over here and lay this color down right here on the top part of every stencil. And I'm probably going to speed this up right now as I do this so I can concentrate on what I'm doing. With these, you want to just make sure you get a scrap sheet of paper and you rub this like this and take the color off so that you can very easily go into the next color. And I had quite a bit on there, so it's going to take me a little bit just to get it all off. I feel like I got most of it off, and the next color is a different shade, but it is still pretty dark. So I'm just going to dip into the pan pastel and get a little bit of pigment on there. And I'm going to come up here and start blending this color right into the other one on every one of these spaces. Oh, look how pretty that is. Oh my goodness. I think I'm going to pull this one a little bit further down because the other color, I don't think I want as much of it. And I really wanted to use that other color because it's just such a beautiful, bright, vibrant highlight color. But I'm sort of blending the two colors into one another to create another color, and then you could still see this shade here down at the bottom. Oh my gosh, these are wonderful. I can already see that I am going to have to add on to my collection with these. See, it's wonderful to get happy mail, but then once you get something and you see how much better it is, then you feel like you need to have all of it. And all the colors. Oh my goodness, look how gorgeous. Oh wow. So see y'all, this is my first time using these, and I want y'all to see that it doesn't matter if it is your first time trying out a new medium. That is the whole fun of doing it and learning how to use it and experimenting with new things. Look how these just blend together so beautifully. Oh my goodness. I want to color a whole page with these. Would that be the coolest tutorial ever? Look at those. So one section is done. Let's pull up the stencil and see what it looks like. Oh, look how cool. I think I need to blend out a little bit of these spaces here. I don't know what happened there. But after I blend it out, it looks just fine. Oh, how pretty. It actually looks even cooler just blending it out just a little bit like that. I think I might come around and do that throughout the whole thing because it looks like some of the darker color just got stuck up there into the top of the stencil, and it looks much better when you spread it out just a little bit. It makes it look so much more natural. Oh goodness, how gorgeous. Okay, so we're gonna have to come up here and line this up now right next to the other one. But I don't want them to be exact. So I think I'm going to do it kind of just like this. And then I'll have to be careful that I don't get into the area where her hair is. So we're going to go ahead and do this all over again. These are so fun. Oh my goodness. I have my darkest color and we're going to go ahead and start. And I'm going to speed this up just a little bit so that I could get all this color down and y'all can just watch it all just come together so beautifully. Section is done, and look how nice that is. Now see, when you're working with a new medium, you sort of learn as you go. Like right here where I sort of made a mistake and I didn't realize, wouldn't even call it a mistake, I just would call it learning how to use a new medium. But because of what happened over here, where it had like the buildup of the pigment from the pan pastels sort of built up at the top, and I had to brush it out just a little bit, like over here and over here. So you could see I still have a little bit of here that sort of needs to be blended out. So when I came over here and I did this one, I just made sure that I went back over it and I blended it out just a little bit better so that I wouldn't have that issue. Basically, I learned something about this medium and I learned how to fix it. It only took my second go at it to be able to realize that I needed to do that. So let's go over here and do another section. This background is gonna look so cool. So it's getting a little dark over here, so I went and grabbed another light. Well, I hope that that helps y'all a little bit to be able to see, because I felt like I was losing a lot of my daylight because it is now after 6:30 here. And I'm not usually filming at 6:30 at night, but I wanted to be able to get these two videos done, my first impressions video and this background tutorial. So let's go ahead and start with this one. And you can see that I'm moving it a little bit above the page because I want it to look very cohesive with the rest of what I've already done here. So again, I'm going to grab some of my darkest color and I'm going to come in here and start laying this down right at the top of each one of these again. The third section all done and completed, and I love the way that this is turning out, and these blend together like a dream. Oh my goodness, I would love to do a whole coloring page in these. Now I need to figure out how I'm going to do this edge here. Okay, I think I'm going to put it just like that, and then I'm just going to come in and lay some color right here in the corner. I'm just going to try to make sure I hold it really tight here and then add my colors again and just finish this off. And this should only take a really quick minute. I'm really enjoying blending some of these colors together. They're just, I don't even know how to describe it. They're just like, butter would be the only way that I could totally describe the way that these lay down on the paper. And then I just need my third color. And even if I don't brush off my tool here off to the side really, really well, it is still going to the next color and it's not really bringing one color into another pan. So that's really cool. And then there's the edge of it. So the edge is done now. And look at that, how cool that is. Oh my goodness, I absolutely love it. I'm gonna have to totally color this page after this. Because after doing this background and it turns out like this, I am going to have to grab my Holbeins and color this leopard and the girl and everything else. Oh, it's gonna look so cool. So let's come up here. Now we have to come underneath. And again, we're going to have to make sure we don't get into where the girl is or the leopard. And I want to pull it just a little bit off the page like I did previously. And I want to make sure that it's lined up so that it is pretty cohesive with the rest of what's going on here. And the space is about the same in between each one of those little patterns there. So I think I have it right in about the right place. I think we're good here. Actually, I want it a little bit off the page, so I know I'm probably being a little bit too particular, but I want it to look good. So let's go ahead and do this one. Section, I think I ended up moving just a little bit. So I tried to go back and remedy a little bit of that and fix it. And I think I did okay. You really can't tell. And this is probably one of the most forgiving mediums that you can use because they are erasable. So like right here where I went over the leopard, and over here where I went over the leopard, I'm just going to probably grab my mono eraser and I'm going to erase those areas when I'm done. So I think that I need to come up here and just do the spaces in here. So if I lay it down and I lay too much of it or whatever, I can always come back and just pull it up and erase it. But I just want to make sure my background looks the same everywhere around and it's even around my image. So I think that filled in that spot. And then I'll just come back here where her hair is and I will pull some of that up so that I could color her hair. So all of this here will be gone and then we'll just have half of that pattern there. So let's come over here and let's do this area. And let me figure out how I want to lay this here. I think we could cover the whole area. And then I want this to look a little bit different here. So I think this is a good place to lay it. So can you see the difference when I come back and lay that highlight color or this color here? And I come back the third time and I lay that color down. It creates a blend of all of those colors and it just looks so beautiful. And I'm able to tell though now this is probably all a little bit lighter up here. I may line this up and lay this back down and go over some of this area here because now that I'm getting a little bit more used to using these and I know exactly what I'm doing and I'm getting much more comfortable with them, I can see that I'm sort of changing the way that I do each section as I come around. But I think even though it's lighter up here as we move into it and it's a little bit lighter over here and then darker over here, so I think it just creates a little bit of balance and sort of makes it look a little bit more natural. So we need to come down here and do the bottom section, and this should be quick. We just got this section and then we have the other section over here, and then we will have a completed background. And I think I want to lay it just like this. And every time I go and lay this down, the first time it's always very, very dark, and you can definitely see the difference in the value of the color that you can get from each different pan pastel as you lay the colors down, depending on how much you actually have on your brush or how much you blend it out. So there I blended it out just a little bit more so that it didn't look so thick. And then as you come back with your other colors, you'll see how the color changes even more. So now I've got my second color and I'm going to start by laying that right over the other color, and it sort of changes the color and it makes it a lot prettier for the look that I'm trying to go for here. And I don't know that I want it down that low. I may end up erasing part of that down there. Let me go ahead and come back with my lightest color, but it's better to be safe than sorry. Now see how I lay the lighter color and I lay it down at the bottom and then I just sort of pull it up, and that creates a gorgeous blend of the colors. And so this part is now done as well. Look how pretty that is. So now we just need to finish with this part over here, and I think I got some pastels down here on the page, but that's okay. So we just have this section down here to do, and then we have another section over here, and that will be really, really quick. So again, I'm going to move it a little bit off the page, and then under the stencil you can see that I have part of the leopard, so I want to make sure I stay out of that area, and I'm going to start laying my color down. And as you learn how to use these, or any new medium for that matter, you will become a lot faster with your lay down and what you're doing. So you can see at the beginning I was being much more cautious about where I was laying the color and what I was doing, and now I'm able to go a little bit faster and get that color laid down on the page. And then here I want to make sure I blend this out really good. You could really tell with these pan pastels when they're not blended out enough. So you just want to make sure that you do blend those colors enough, and then you want to brush your brush off to the side, which is what I'm doing over here where you can't see my brush. I have a paper over here to the side so I could just get all the color off there before I dip into the next. And then I'm going to come back here and lay my next color and blend that right into that other one. I love the blend of color that this creates, these two colors together. And then with the third one, the color I chose for the highlight, once I come back and I lay that color down too, it's so pretty. And see how fast it is? And doing something like this is much faster to do on your coloring pages rather than trying to do backgrounds with colored pencils. I did a background I think one time with colored pencils and I never attempted that again. So I have my lightest color and I'm starting at the bottom and I'm going to pull up and blend all those colors together. And I am re-dipping off to the side every once in a while because I really want to see that pop of color down there at the bottom of each one of these little patterns. Look how gorgeous this color is. Oh man, I want to color a whole page with these pan pastels. I really do. Look how pretty they are. And then up here I can see that I have that very dark pigment, so I'm just trying to blend that in a little bit better to get some of that out of there. And these tools are wonderful, and I would assume that you could use these tools on something like the Mungio pastels or any other pastels that you're using. Okay, so now I just need to do this. Oh, I should have gone up a little bit further here, or maybe I shouldn't have. I don't know. Let me come over here and fill this area in, and I think I could probably work that out. We'll see how it looks after, if I have to come back and do a little something right up there in that area. Let's go ahead and finish this. I think I need to pull it down just a little. Right there is good. Okay, so the background is done, y'all. I absolutely love it. This is the coolest thing ever. I hope y'all enjoyed this tutorial. Everything you've seen in this video I will have down in the description box below so that you could easily find it. But this was so super fun, and I will try to find those stencils as well that I purchased at Walmart. I have actually pulled those out a couple times and they're really wonderful stencils. And I've looked around on Amazon and I have found a lot more expensive brands or whatever, but I got so many stencils and so many patterns in that one little pack and I probably paid like $3 or something. So I will try to find those as well and link those down below. But look at that background. It just looks so cool. I am so excited about these pan pastels. I really am. But y'all know what that means. It means I am going to have the whole entire set now. This is, I don't know. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but I hope y'all enjoyed this tutorial, and feel free to get out some of your other tools that you use with your pastels. Grab some of your other pastels I've shown in some of my other tutorials, like maybe your Jane Davenport pastels that are quite a bit cheaper than these, or the more budget set like the Mungio pastels, and go ahead and grab those and try to recreate the same background, or even grab some other stencils and make your own background using the same ideas from this tutorial. Now do know that I do need to come back and I need to set these with a fixative so that they don't move around and they stay just like they are, and then I will come back and I'm going to most likely finish this image because this is a gorgeous page. And for those of you that are wondering what I mean when I talk about the workable fixative, this here is what I use. I'll try to find and link it down below. I'll try to find it on Amazon. I bought this one at Michael's. So I'm not sure if it's on Amazon, but I'm sure they've got some kind of workable fixative on Amazon. But you do always need to set your pastels. So I hope y'all enjoyed this video, and I will see you in the next one. Happy coloring. Bye.